Yeah, I mean, this question, Mac, you could probably take this one if you like.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of hit it, right? I mean, a lot of the Pieces Copilot functionality is centralized to the platform in Pieces OS. So all of our plugins and tools are leveraging that same platform to develop the features and so on. And then of course, ensuring the consistent experience. It's a lot of attention to detail. It's a lot of manual work, just making sure that this button is here on VS Code and it's also here in the IntelliJ extension, but the team is working hard to make that process a lot simpler for themselves by abstracting code and being able to write it once and deploy it in multiple places. And you see that in the TypeScript plugins being VS Code and JetBrains, the Copilot is written in TypeScript. And then you see it with the Flutter applications and building the Flutter desktop application as well as the web extension. And so we use the same tools and technologies. We pay a lot of the attention to detail. And we really we look at them both side by side. I mean, we really do. There's not a whole lot of magic there other than reducing code and paying that attention to detail and spending the time to make sure that it's consistent.
I would add as well, consistency is super important at the SDK level and at the data layer. And, fun fact about our company is a majority of our client-side SDKs are generated off of protobuf specs or HTTP open API specs, right? And so that means when Mark, basically releases an endpoint with a certain capability, we have it in Kotlin, we have it in TypeScript, we have it in Dart, we have it in Rust and Go and some of the others very quickly, right, out of the gate. And so, when you're looking at it side by side, that question of do I have access from an SDK perspective is not a problem for us, right? And I think people will start to see even a further convergence of our platform and its performance and its isomorphism, which will both let us, kind of reduce technical debt, but also integrate in more environments ridiculously fast next year. We've got some crazy architectures. Yeah,
exactly.
Notion. I could probably feel this one. We have plans to support a lot of things, and kind of building on some of the architecture stuff. There's going to be a two-pronged approach. Number one, how can we build a system that is uniquely isomorphic and can offload a lot of the work just to the Pieces OS core. So you can basically go to, say, localhost 1001 and boom, it's the Chrome extension, right? Or something like that. Then the second thing is, we are building on what we do internally to consolidate and to standardize and just to improve with open source. We know that we can't build everything for everyone. And so a large effort in our goals this year is, hey, let's open up these SDKs, right? Let's do the TypeScript one. Let's do the Rust one. Let's put it on npm pub.dev and creates.io so that, you could take a look at one of our open source integrations and say, hey, I could build an MVP or I could build a Copilot for Notion in a weekend, like a hackathon, right? And I think that would be a big thing for us too, is there are power users in these communities, and a lot of these communities have deeply technical users and they build plugins, right? They're just like, I just want this, so I'm going to do it. And I think that'll be a big win on our side as well.